Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Cup of Joe with Joe and Joe podcast. I am your host, Joe, and with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, Joe.
See, right about this time is when I would make a funny comment about Mikasa or something going on. But with this episode, I can't. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the episode. And I cannot find it in me to do something funny. We really just need to get into this, Joe.
Yeah, there's all spoilers, nuts to butts, fuck it, let's go into it. Episode 78 of Attack on Titan, the two brothers. There's a lot of shit that happens in this episode, Joe. There is a lot of stuff, and I have many thoughts on a lot of it. So, I don't know. We got to go through this chronologically, yes. Otherwise we're going to be super fucking.
Yes, and we got to stick to it, because if we stray a little bit, there's too much. The strings will untangle and could just be chaos.
The paths will become fucking spaghetti in the sky.
Exactly.
Anyway, okay, beginning of the episode, it starts off. Eren and fucking Reiner are still just duking it out. They're just punching the shit out of each other. And motherfucking Beast Titan, Zeke, he's on the ground. He has been shot. He's not dead, obviously. We didn't think he was dead. But he is, he's fitting to do something else, real quick. But, before we get to that, yeah, I mean, it's just Titans punching each other for the beginning of the episode. And you got, like, the Marlians with, Armin and Mikasa and Jean and Connie all like zipping around, just being like, "Fuck!" There's a lot of war happening right now. We gotta circumvent all this war and go do some smaller scale war on a bigger scale enemy. That being a Titan, if it wasn't subtle enough for you. So they're going off to go and try to do that. Meanwhile, God, I'm starting to feel bad for Porco because, good Christ. He just keeps getting the shit kicked out of him by Eren. But I mean, come on, dude. Stop fucking attacking him.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Where I'm like, oh, here we go again.
And he, like I keep thinking he's, like, brutalizing him. But, like, in this episode, he bitch slaps the nape of the Jaw Titan. And he's just like, all right, fuck this guy. And with his Hardened Titan hand, he just keeps punching the shit out of it. And I'm just like, is he just gonna kill him? Is he just gonna straight up kill the Jaw Titan? He doesn't care. He's just gonna whatever, and he just fucking decks him. I was just like, okay, Porco, this is you can tap out now. I don't hate you anymore. I still think you're kind of annoying, but I mean, for the love, just go retire. Live out the rest of your days on a farm or something. Get a dog. I don't fucking know. Just leave this all behind, dude. Just fucking leave.
Yeah, that's how I felt as well, where I actually was kind of like, oh, God, he's real. His face kind of looking like burger meat.
Yes, there's a few faces that will end up looking like burger meat by the end of this episode. So, do you want to talk about this? I've been talking a while. Go for it.
Yeah, let me get into it. So, also, first thing with this episode, I was super nervous when there was, like, a little bit of a recap. I was like, no, don't do it again. Do not do it again. But it was, like, literally, like, a minute, and it was perfectly well justified. And I was like, okay, thank you. Now, don't do it again. And so we went into it, and yes. So you have fucking Eren beating the shit out of the Jaw Titan and just still trying to get to Zeke. And Zeke finally realizes, like, oh, I'm pretty fucked, so I need to do something. And he's about to do his yell or his scream, and Eren is literally about to be like, stop, don't do it, because he knows, like, obviously, like, all these Eldians have drank it, and I think that was our first hint that why would Eren care that much? You know what I mean?
Yes, that was definitely a moment where I was like, when he's telling Zeke to not scream, I was just like, oh, this motherfucker has got all of his own machinations 100% confirmed right there.
Yep. So that was the first thing where I was like, okay, that's old Eren right there, baby. And but then we get Falco and oh my goodness, what's his brother's name? Colt coming up, and Colt's like, please don't scream. Falco drank some of the fluid. I get it. Like, let's just let Falco get away, and then you can go on your killing spree. And Zeke's like, you know what? I completely understand, especially this relationship between your brothers, and that's what makes this so sad. And I knew it. I was like, I call it, ladies and gentlemen, watch the last Cup of Joe episode, and yours truly called it. It was going to happen. And, wow, he does the scream. And there was a lot of times in this episode where literally I was in my room going, oh, shit! And that was one of them. Just seeing all of the lights flashing in the city, all of the peoples. You see some like the blood flow, the neurovasculature outlined in the people's bodies, and you see it start to glow. And I'm like, this is the most beautiful and horrifying thing I have ever seen. And that included, oh my god, oh my goodness, Falco turning into one of the pure Titan, and his brother dies because of the transformation with all the steam happening, and we see his like steamed body, and Gabby's like, holy shit. And now Zeke's telling the Falco Titan, since he can control them all, to go attack Reiner. And now Reiner has to decide, am I about to kill Falco? Like, it's all this really fucked up shit. And when Reiner, I forget when it was specifically, but Reiner does like this scream or this yell, and he had this facial expression, Joe, and it actually broke my heart when he did that. And I was like, oh man, this guy is so broken.
Yeah, because there's a point where a little bit later on in the fight, when he's like trying to fight Eren, and then he's also trying to fight Falco, when Falco actually starts biting into his nape, and he says something along the lines of like, I could just end it here. Like, the moment I undo the hardening on my neck, he'll eat me, he'll go back to himself, and I'll be done. I'm done, because he wants to be done. This man, 10 episodes ago, maybe not 10, maybe more like 12 or something like that, 12 episodes ago, put a rifle into his mouth and was about to pull the trigger. Like, he is done. He's like, I don't want to be here anymore. So I was like, God damn, this entire time he's just been, Reiner that is, has been fighting just to end everything and then to die. He does not want to be here anymore.
Yeah, it's very emotional, because I didn't have that much emotion towards Reiner, but in that moment I was like, holy shit. And Porco starts chowing down on his nape. You're like, oh my god, is it gonna happen?
Not Porco.
Falco. Oh, forgive me, Falco. Falco's chewing down on his nape, and you're like, oh my god, is this about to happen? Eren's still kind of like underneath being like, can you get off me so I can go like touch my brother, please? Zeke's
I gotta go touch my brother!
Zeke's watching from a distance, and then that's when the second shot comes through and actually gets the nape, and you're like, oh shit. And even Eren's like, oh my god, like, did it just end? But
yeah,
he realizes it doesn't. Everybody else thinks it does, and that's when Mikasa and Armin start attacking the actual cart Titan. They blow up the cannon, so now that they just have to fight Peak's Titan form. Magath is still alive, shooting people with guns. All of Flock's buddies have dead, and he's the only one alive, and you're like, oh my god, everything. You can feel the crescendo about to happen. Yes. And Falco is about to consume Reiner. He's about to let it happen when he notices somebody else out there, and that's when, this is why I said Porco a couple seconds ago. Porco is out of his Titan form, walking towards Falco, and he's talking about, I couldn't remember this properly because it feels so long ago, but when he's doing that monologue, is he talking about Zeke, or is he talking about Falco?
I don't know what monologue he doesn't do a monologue. He just says, I remember my brother, and like, this is why I was always better than you.
Yeah. When he says you, who is that talking towards?
He's talking to Reiner, because like, Reiner does the fucking ET phone home and touches the Jaw Titan's head during the midst of the fight and transfers his memories, which is an ability that at first immediately I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, no, this makes sense, because memory transfer is a thing that Titans can do. And this is totally not foreshadowing for me questioning some shit that happens later on in the episode. But so, like, Porco pretty much learns everything that his brother, like, had stored in him. And he sees, like, his death, essentially. And, like, he sees all the stuff where it's just, like, I lied to the higher-ups about Porco's abilities and kind of, like, pumped you up, Reiner, because I didn't want my brother to die. And so Porco is like, oh, I get it all now. And he's like, some of his final words are just like, yeah, so this means I was always better than you. Haha, fuck you, Reiner. And then Falco chomps him.
Yeah. So I had vague memories. I'm like, oh wait, is he talking? Like, I kept forgetting that, like, he's technically kind of like I kept getting messed up. I'm like, wait, is he talking to Falco? I'm like, who is it exactly? Because it's been a while since I saw that episode, but that was pretty fucking crazy when Falco just starts chowing down on him. Fucking Aaron starts making a bolt
Yeah,
for it, and
he
then
fucking
Reiner's like,
somersaults. He somersaults out of his fucking Titan, and he's just like,
stop. That is the only funny part of this episode. Yeah, when he does the hardening ability, and then he does the somersault, and then lands, sticks to the landing, and starts bolting. I couldn't help but giggle a little bit. I was like,
it was
that
so
was
funny.
And
But
he starts.
it
There
was
you go,
so funny, which is only it only makes it weirder for what happens next.
Yes, exactly. And he's bolting, and you're like, oh my god, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And oh my god, out the corner of my eye, my least favorite character is there. It's fucking Gabby with a sniper pistol. The one that Colt had.
Sniper pistol?
Or, like, not sniper pistol, sniper gun.
It's
I don't
the
know
Titan
guns.
killing rifle.
Yeah, it's the Titan killing
It's
thing.
Chekhov's Titan's killing rifle.
And I'm like, oh no, this isn't gonna happen, is it? This isn't. And Gabby is crying. We get the slow-mo scene, and Aaron, you don't see his head move, you just see his eyes fucking move, and see her at the corner of her eye, and everything's slowing down. You're seeing Armin fighting the Cart Titan. Oh, also when Mikasa did the backwards killing of those two
Oh,
Marlians,
good Christ.
I creamed.
Oh,
Anyway,
of course you did.
it was that was the only time I paused during this whole episode. I was like, whoa, whoa, oh my, I might have to take a break. Anyway, it's all happening, and then she pulls the trigger, and Aaron's head spins off, not just flies off, it spins, it corkscrews off his body, and my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my god. I had a feeling what happens next was going to happen, but we get more slow-mo, and the last thing we see is the head fall into Zeke's hand, outstretched hand. And then this is where all the weird shit happens, and I think this might be one of the strangest. I don't know how to describe this episode of anime. This episode of just anime overall, it blew me away. Literally blew me away because it was so fucking weird. Yeah, Joe, take it. What happens when Zeke catches that head?
Okay, so just to reiterate, we've been saying all this time that Aaron's got to go touch his brother. Unfortunately, we've been bamboozled, and it is in fact the brother who is touching Aaron. Got to keep that very straight. It's a very important detail. Oh God, yeah. This is where the episode goes all fucking wibbly wobbly, timey wimey universe bullshit. You see like a montage of just all these different moments from other characters' lives, because it's like, it's all the paths converging, and then we end up in the realm, I guess, of Ymir or whatever the fuck it is. The coordinate, that's what it's called, yeah. And of course, you see Zeke and Aaron are there. As it turns out, so apparently, Aaron's head gets shot off, but the life force hadn't left him by the time his head fell into Zeke's outstretched arms. So
seems legit.
Seems legit. We'll get into it in a little bit.
I'll buy it.
We'll see if I do. So now they're both there. Aaron and Zeke are in the coordinate. We can see the tiny child walking up, which of course that ended up being Ymir. Big hurrah. I don't think anyone was actually surprised by that. Zeke is entirely chained down though, and like this makes sense to us from all the information that we have. Titans with the royal blood, they have it's the oath, it's the thing. They cannot break like the anti-war oath or whatever the fuck it's called. They have to adhere to that. That's fast and hard logic, and I'm not reiterating that for any purpose at all. At all. Anyway, Aaron looks at him and is all like, yeah, so yeah, your plan about euthanizing all of us? And then he takes out 2 middle fingers and he shoves them up both Zeke's nostrils and he kicks him in the nuts. And then he spits in his face, essentially. Really, he just says, I would never do that. And Zeke's like, why? And Aaron has the line of, because I was born into this world and I was just like, back, very nice. And so he walks up to Ymir, who's also walking towards him, and he outstretches his hand. He's like, let me some of your power. We're going to do this shit. And Ymir just walks right by him, doesn't even give him a fucking glancing look. And Aaron's like, what the fuck? And then Zeke's like, oh, ha, 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 you have fallen for my trap card. And then he takes off his mask and it's Kaiba Boy. Anyway, no, Zeke is just like, yeah, so this was a test. As it turns out, I was here for like a very long time because the time for you to like reappear in the coordinate because you were like dead or whatever for a second. I don't think he was dead for a second. It just took him a while to appear in the coordinate for whatever fucking reason. And Zeke was there for what feels like eons to him, or at least many, many years. And he says, while he was there, he was able to, I guess, converse with Ymir and convince her to follow his lead. Like, she was always going to follow his lead because he's a Titan with royal blood, so she's essentially a slave to him. But he somehow convinces her to just fucking forget about the anti-war thing, the anti-violence, whatever the fuck. And so now he's like, yeah, so, and he like rips off his chains being like, yeah, haha, this was all just a stunt. I needed to see if like you actually go along with my plan. And all of a sudden Aaron has the chains on his hands and he's like, Nani? And Zeke's all like, yeah, so, our dad brainwashed you. It's not your fault, but we're gonna fix the world together. And Aaron's like, get the fuck away from me. And he's like, nope, we're gonna touch. And then he touches his brother, in a totally not sensual way. Just gonna make that clear. It's just the foreheads touching. I understand if I keep saying that he touches his brother, it sounds a little weird, Joe. But it's totally fine. And then the episode fucking ends with like the zap of them connecting, and I guess Zeke utilizing the Founding Titan's power, because I guess he can just utilize it because he's a Titan of royal blood, even though Aaron's the one who possesses it. I don't really know. We're not there yet. Needless to say, I have a lot of questions, and if you can't tell, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of the second half of this episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to check the rule book on this one, Steve.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot. There's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot of stuff that happens. Obviously, I mean, you have fucking God. The Titan scream was the first moment why I actively like I didn't leap up, but that was like that's one of the crescendos because holy shit, a bunch of people got turned to Titans. Which I will say, I fucking love that. There's been a lack of actual just like pure Titans for a while now.
I know.
And seeing just a bunch of them all of a sudden appear, great. I fucking love that. I was like, holy shit, we're back to Titans, baby. We're back to it. Then Porco, again, getting the shit beat out of him. That stuff about his brother, and that's something else that I like about this episode, how it's called Two Brothers. It can apply to several different brother pairings. You have Colt and Falco, you have Aaron and Zeke, and then you have Porco and whatever the fuck his brother's name was. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But so like there's 3 different brother pairings in there that you can discuss, like two brothers. It's like it could be referring to any or all of these guys. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. But yeah, so like the Titan Scream is a thing. Falco all of a sudden eating the Jaw Titan. So I'm going to be very interested to see what the fuck is going to happen now, because obviously he's going to revert back to being Falco. He's not dead. I will say, when that happened, I was elated. I was like, thank God. I wasn't ready to let Falco go yet, man. I wasn't ready. And then everything else that happens afterwards, though, from the fucking somersault to the moment Gabby pulls the trigger, I was like, okay, how are you going to get yourself out of this one, Isayama? How the fuck is this going to happen? I'm assuming this is what happens in the manga. I don't know. I haven't read it. No spoilers. But the moment you introduce something like death and like being able to circumvent clear death, that's where things start to get really like you're skating on thin ice narratively, satisfying narratives. And the fact that we're so close to the end and this is just being introduced, I am angered by it and very worried by it.
Okay. I'm not as angered. I am more like, damn, I need a shot of whiskey. Like, I'm more like, okay, this is fucking wild. We're just gonna keep rolling with this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 3 of the second part of the last season. We still have 9 more episodes left.
If rumors are to be believed, I think we still have like 9 episodes left.
That at this point, I feel like I wasn't expecting this to happen till like episode 9. So this is kind of like, holy shit, what more can fucking happen? I'm at a loss. So yes, everything in that first, I'd say the first 3 quarters was great. The yell, the fight scenes, the emotion, it was all there. Absolutely fantastic. But yes, as soon as Gabby pulls that trigger, that's when you sit up a little bit straighter in your seat and you're like, what? Because that I did not see coming. The whole head grab, and then this is also this is also where the slow mo stuff comes in. And at this point,
That was my favorite part.
I know
the images. Oh my god, Mappa is doing a very good job this time around. Like the first half, they did okay. Like there was some standout stuff. These first 3 episodes, I gotta say, good job, Mappa. You're really doing a fucking solid job with this thing.
yeah, the slow mo stuff, the weird single frame zoom in shit. It fit the mood so well. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is it. This is where things get really fucked up, isn't it?" And I loved it. It was weird. I'd never felt this way before when watching an episode of anime. I really haven't. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like it's so fucking weird. And yeah, so we go to the coordinate, and I had a feeling when Zeke was doing that description, I'm like, something's up. This doesn't feel right. And as soon as Ymir walked by, I was like, okay. And this was the part I watched this twice because I wanted to rewatch that part because some of the dialogue didn't make sense to me. I was a little confused by some of it. And yeah, the most confusing part is him casually saying, "I've been here for years. Time doesn't work the same way." And I was speaking with the founder, and I convinced her to like let go of the pact, and I was like, "Wait, what?" I'm like that's something you got to clarify. If that doesn't get clarified, that's an issue. If there's a flashback and clarification, I can work with that. I
Right.
can work with that. But just a casual, yeah, I'll roll with that. That's one I have a hard time rolling with. The whole, and then also, I mean, like I said, this is like the rule book. Where's the fucking rule book? I need a damn rule book with this shit. This is like trying to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm sorry for all the goddamn Yu-Gi-Oh metaphor, guys. We're Yu-Gi-Oh nerds. Like, did you activate that trap card before or afterwards? No, no, no. My trap card negated yours, but I activated. This is a quick play spell card. Like all that shit. That's how I felt watching this. I was like, wait a minute. Why is Zeke even here? Wouldn't Aaron just be there? Why is it 2 people there? Why can they both walk around? Why is it that Zeke ended up being able to have the powers? Was this more just hearsay? Because I think Zeke says, yes, I thought it was going to be you being the one who made the decisions, but it appears I'm the one. It appears that I am the one that, since I have royal blood, I needed you to get there, but I'm the one that like makes the quote unquote decision. And I don't know if I interpreted that correctly, or again, it's one of those things where I was like, fuck, I'm like, I need somebody to write like a goddamn dissertation on this shit because I am lost. And he pulls the switcheroo, and I kind of like how he wasn't mad at Aaron. I kind of liked how he was like, yeah, our dad was a bit of a cunt, so I get it. So I'm going to touch you real quickly, and we're going to figure this all out. And the episode ends, and I had never wanted to see what one of the next episode preview looked like so bad in my life. Did you watch it?
I did. I just remember flashes of what looked like previous shots from like the seasons. Like that's all I remember.
And
from
them
it.
being
It's
there,
some
though.
stuff. Yeah.
It looked like, I was like, are they going to travel through time? Are they going
It
to,
looks like they're gonna start traveling through the show. Yeah.
are we going to get a recap episode? I swear to fucking God, if
Oh
I get
my
a
god.
with them narrating, I will. Oh God! If this,
They're gonna Timon and Pumbaa. They're gonna do Lion King 1.5.
I know. I'm more and more that this season goes on. I'm getting really bad Ava vibes, and I'm really I am so scared now.
No, I don't think they're gonna do Ava. I actually like what I'm thinking more so it's gonna be like a Christmas Carol kind of thing where he's gonna be like taking Aaron through the past and trying to like convince him by like showing stuff maybe that this is a good plan or whatever. I don't know. He says Aaron is just the key and that he actually has to. I actually have the final decision here. But I mean, I don't really know. That's the thing. There's still plenty of time for them to, again, explain things like how the fuck Zeke got Ymir to drop this centuries-long act against violence, which that's the thing that I think makes me the most mad, how casually he was just like, oh, ho, 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 actually, I was able to do this.
But this is also the show
fuck.
that had Reiner and Bertolt go, oh, hey, Aaron, by the way, Bertolt here is the Colossal Titan, and I'm the Armored Titan, and we just wanted to, like that.
But there was shit planted there. And then you have, like, 2 more seasons after that to show, like, the backstory of how they got to there, and then what they did afterwards. Like, I don't know. It sits wrong with me right now, and I'm just really hoping they're able to justify these things. It's Isayama, so, like, there's a history of this where it's like, oh shit, this was actually set up a while ago, and like, oh my god, this recontextualizes so much shit. I'm hoping I'll get Isayama'd, at the end of this. I have faith that I'll get Isayama'd at the end of this. But right now, I'm getting a little bit worried.
Yes, I agree. I can roll with the whole, no pun intended, of Aaron's not passing away just yet when he caught it. I'll let that slide. That I can let slide. Like I'm like just on the edge of like I'm okay with that. You giggle about that one, and you're like, okay, whatever you say. But the whole, yeah, I just convinced her. You know what? Chill out, man. Why not? Let's go to war. And that to me, I was like, okay, you're gonna have to produce some proof for that one, but you got to show your work. It's just like on the fucking math test.
Show your work, Zeke.
He put down 10 for 2 times 5, but he didn't show the work. And ladies and gentlemen, you got to show the work. And the last thing I'm going to say about in this little preview section is that there's a woman at the very end who I believe it looks like it was like one of the royals.
Yes.
And I don't know. I think this is also going to be the whole travel through time thing, or travel through memories. I don't know. Like I said, after this, I was like, oh, fuck, I need a shot of something. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so I don't know what the actual power of the Founding Titan can do, like, as far as the weird time travel-y bullshit, but I guess we'll find out next episode. It's got some really good stuff in this episode. Again, everything before the timey-wimey bullshit stuff, great. It's just more of the same awesome stuff. Some of the timey-wimey bullshit stuff, kind of cool. A lot of it, I'm like, I want to like this, but you need to do more to get me to like it. So I hope and pray they can do that by the end of the season.
Yeah, a lot of big statements were made in this episode, and you just, like I said, you need the proof. You can't expect people who have been following this for so long to just say, yeah, I'll go with that. It's not going to work. If you do, I'm going to go with it. If you show me the evidence, show me some type of substance to support your claim, I will roll with it, and I say, okay, I trust the process. But as of right now, yes, I'm a little like, oh, God, I don't even know what to think anymore. Holy shit.
There's a lot going on, a lot coming up. And I hope and I pray that they can stick the landing here. Please, for the love of God, stick this goddamn landing. All right, anything else to add to this, Joe?
No, nothing else. Like I said, I couldn't even be funny with this. Literally, the only funny moment was I wanted someone to make a YouTube edit of Aaron doing the role, and then people like a judge's stand holding up 10 out of 10 cards. Yes. You know what I mean? That very people need to make that.
We'll get right on that. Okay, so everyone, what did you guys think? Attack on Titan, episode 78. 2 brothers. Which 2 brothers? All the 2 brothers. Doesn't fucking matter. Let us know what you thought down in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoy us bantering. Hopefully you enjoy the season. And hopefully the season wraps up as well as I hope it does. So good night, everyone. We'll love you. We'll leave you. And goodbye.